Previously on Lost.
Greetings, R. Smalek here.
With Fellonius the Wizard, and we are doing our Previously on Lost second season.
Yes, we are in our second episode of the second season. What are we covering today?
Episodes 4 to 6, namely Everybody Hates Hugo. No. And then we have And Found. That's probably Lost and Found. And then we have Abandoned, episode 6.
All right. Well, I think
we can start directly.
Yeah, I think the first one, pretty obvious who it's about. Here's what my DVD liner notes say. Hurley worries that his new job will make him the most unpopular man on the island. Sawyer, Jin, and Michael learn that their captors are actually survivors from the tail section of the plane. Claire finds the message bottle from the raft, making her and Son fear the worst. And Saeed's exploration of the hatch raises suspicions. I don't remember that last bit. What was...
Concrete.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and then that's Kate.
I have no note, though. It's so...
Kate taking a shower. That's right, I totally didn't take any notes on that either. Now,
I didn't find it. Well, we'll get back to that later.
Yeah, this one, so right off the bat, I want to say the beginning of this episode is my favorite moment. And I really like this episode quite a bit. Did you like it, or?
Well, it's the actions on the island I loved. It's the flashbacks I felt a bit unnecessary this time.
See, I really enjoyed watching Hurley's flashbacks, although, because I don't think too much actually happens on the island. I've already seen that stuff, so. But one thing that I have to say, so at the end of last episode, you said that you finally gave up on your theory that Jin speaks English. And what happens at the very beginning of this one, Hurley's dreaming, and suddenly Jin is there speaking English in his dream. And he's like, dude, you speak English? Oh, man, I was laughing so hard. I was like, Fellonius is going to be like, what?
I knew that was the problem with that one. He couldn't do that, but he's talking better English now, even if it's only 3 words and they're not grammatically correct. But in that dream, It was clear American.
Yeah, that was funny. It was just good timing. So, we have, baby. I mean, let's start with Hurley, because this is basically his episode. He actually, I would say, is kind of smart, because I never even thought it coming that him being put in charge of the food, instead of making people happy, would make people mad at him.
I had big problems with that.
Okay.
I could see why total strangers that had known each other for is it 40? Is it 8 weeks? 48 days or 44?
That's yes. It's almost 48. Yep.
Yeah, it's almost 7 weeks, 8 weeks. Yeah. And suddenly he feels like everybody's going to hate me because I have this job.
Because he has to tell people no.
Yeah, but that's not a problem, is it? I mean, I can't tell anyone, He's if he were having that problem with his numbers, then he would be jinxing. And that means that if he starts to do something, they are going to die like flies around him. Now, that part he didn't even mention, so that's not the problem. Because I was sitting there waiting, both from the flashbacks and from his normal actions. What is wrong with you? Just do the inventory, see what you can do. Even I could see that it wasn't enough food for 40-plus people. Mm-hmm. There are food, of course there is, but it's not enough for plenty of people. Now, it started with Kate taking a shower, and she needed some shampoo.
Right, yeah.
That was his first problem. Now it starts.
Well, and then Charlie wanted peanut butter for
Yeah, and that's
Claire.
when totally broke him. When his 2 brain cells not starting to function. And what he could have done, and he had Rose to help him do the inventory.
Yeah.
And it was lovely to see her again, I must say. They just made her standing there doing the laundry. And then suddenly she got to the hatch, down to the bunker, sitting there with the inventory. She was so calm all the way. And then she's still doing the laundry outdoors because the drying is better there.
Yeah.
I like that. But didn't use her. He could have used her, asked her, what do you think? But he's going with his old Hurley, his older Hugo. And
Yeah.
that was shown in the flashbacks.
Yeah, this one, the flashback was kind of parallel to the island. Like, it helped explain why he felt that he was in a bad situation, but it didn't have anything like previous. I always have been looking at these flashbacks as like, okay, how is the pre-island, how do they get a clean slate? How is it different than the current island?
Yeah.
And this one wasn't different. In fact, in the flashback, the only problem I had with it was his friend, which I can't remember his name, not Randy. Randy was the boss.
Yeah.
But that friend, why would he be mad that Hurley won the lottery? Why wouldn't he be happy for Hurley? Like that scene, I didn't understand. I didn't understand that part.
And I couldn't see the connection either between winning a lottery and doing the inventory and being in charge. I couldn't see that either.
Well, it's basically like, okay, Hurley has the food. Hurley has the most valuable thing on the island. He has to tell people, no, I'm not going to give you any, so people will get mad at him. That's the whole crux. And so instead, he just gives the whole thing away, which...
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a nice ending, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a total good solution.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if we back up a little bit more, why does Jack want someone in charge of something that Jack doesn't want to tell about?
I got the impression
Just close the fucking door and go out and do something else. I mean, why do you have to talk about the food? Just close the door, keep on doing whatever you do outside on the beaches until you're prepared to tell everybody what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think they need to tell everybody pretty quick, because they can't be living in this nice bunk doing this weird button thing and like...
You just wait till a very certain little lady shows up.
So, one more note about the Hurley lottery, which I should have mentioned last season, but so whenever these numbers started showing up on the show in real life, people started playing the actual lottery with these numbers.
Of course they do.
And it actually, if I remember correctly, it actually came up once, and it was the winning numbers. And so people were so excited until they found out that there was so many people playing the lottery with the same numbers. They had to split the prize, and they ended up getting very little.
Yeah, like $10.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if it was just one person, they would have got, a lot. But
yes.
I thought
just shift one to the right or one to the left, and you will win.
So, anything else about Hurley? I don't really.
Well, he grows. He still grows, but he still is the same person that I said from day one. He is anxious. He does want to be everybody's friend. Mm-hmm. And we are getting closer to the reason why. And he said something to his friend in the flashback. Promise me it will stay the same, whatever happens. It will stay the same. And he didn't actually promise that.
Yeah. I did, actually, now that I think about it, I did like the scene in the record store where they see the Drive Shaft CD under the One Hit Wonders, and then he asks that girl out. I thought that was a nice scene.
Absolutely. And it felt like Hurley is more or less a normal person.
Oh, yeah.
Not a hero, nothing fancy at all. Yeah. Working at some chicken stuff. Yeah.
So you mentioned Rose. Do we want to talk about the end of this episode, and then back into it? So for example, Rose saves a candy bar that she got from Hurley. She puts it in her pocket to save it for Bernard.
Yes, he's got a sweet tooth.
And
He's
we
full of sweet
finally,
tooth.
yeah, we finally meet her husband. It's confirmed who he is because he asks,
Yes. Jean, Michael, and Sawyer.
yeah, that scene actually made me tear up a little bit because he was so. You can see he's tired. They've been harassed, and he's like, "Have you heard anything about my wife? Like,
Yeah.
she's a black lady," and that was a
Well,
that was a good scene.
yeah, it was a good scene. It was one of the best because it also made it. Let's say that it greased the collaboration between the two gangs a bit, because now Bernard is on the everybody's side.
Yeah.
Before that, he was on the losing side. I would say they were 23 from the start. Now they are 5 or 6.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I thought whenever the scene when they first go into their station,
Yeah.
I thought there was like a dozen people, but it seems like there's only a handful.
Yeah.
So they've definitely
It's
had,
Echo, it's Anna, two ladies, I don't, Libby and one more, and then it was Bernard.
yeah, Libby and I guess the look ahead.
Cindy or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Cindy, the flight attendant, right?
Oh, she was a flight attendant. Okay.
Yes, she gave Jack the drinks in the first flashbacks.
She was just a blonde, middle-aged woman. I couldn't see any. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
Bernard is made me actually smile because he's not black.
No.
He's white as well. He's an old white guy,
Yeah,
and
dentist.
and a dentist, and he's got a sweet tooth. Well, that was one thing. Well, I like that. That's a good old-fashioned grandpa, if you ever saw one. And the fact that Rose isn't a white woman is good because I'm all for this mix of people because everyone is a person, an individual, and we are all people.
Yep, and back. I mean, when this was coming out in the 2000s, I mean that they did have that on TV, of course, but it wasn't as common or as casual.
No,
So that was good.
I think that was good. It was smooth presented as well. I bet many people sat there perhaps and thought, "Oh, he's asking for someone else," but it didn't. That was Bernard, and now he gets this news that Rose is still alive. Of course, he wants to go there and find her and all that stuff, and he wants to get these three guys with him.
Yeah, so they now I think we know why the others haven't come to bother the people on the beach because they've been bothering these people instead.
Yeah, or yeah.
And
And
and it
they lost like 9 persons in one
yeah.
evening. I mean, 9 persons. There need to be at least 12 of them to get those.
Well, I think whatever happened, I mean, they must have fought back, whereas Jack's team is going to hide, right? So,
Yeah,
well, obviously we'll get to what happened. I thought it was interesting that they were living inside of another Dharma station,
yeah,
but
it was because we saw the sign on one of the walls.
yeah, but it was all empty and
Yep,
pretty much useless. So that
like a
was
storing place, storing facility or something.
yeah, and I can't remember what that one was called. So our friends are in the Swan. I think they're in the Cross or the Staff or something like that.
Yeah, might be.
I think.
And I was also surprised about the extent of distance between the tail and the main fuselage of the plane, because they must have ended up pretty far apart.
Yeah, I think so. And I notice, well, maybe we'll talk about this in the next one when they're walking
Yeah,
from one to the other. Uh, it is hard for me to tell the distance on the island because you start to see some of the same scenes. They
yeah,
pass a tree that we saw earlier. They are on the same, walking
yeah,
along the same rocks that we saw other people. But I have a comment on that I'll save for a little bit.
yeah. But still, it is far apart. I was thinking about how come they haven't had contact at all. I mean, they've been shooting polar bears and stuff by the first group, and the others haven't heard it. I mean, there must be a. That was my thought.
I mean, it must be presumably on the other side of the big mountain past where the rope or the cable is,
Yeah.
on the beach, because they haven't come to that
No, 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 no.
on the walk back.
We haven't seen all yet.
And
Right.
yeah, and the only other thread that I took notes on, and I didn't really take many notes, is the whole bottle and finding
Yeah.
the bottle.
Again, that's one thing we mentioned pretty early in this series, is that why do they always keep secrets? There's a lot of secrets out there, and sooner or later it's coming out in the air, of course. But why start with secrets? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, the bottle could just fallen overboard while they were sleeping on the raft. There is no need to go bananas over a bottle.
Well, I mean, I guess I assume I agree with you, but I assume that they're doing it because it's it's doubt, it's the loss of hope. So if they found the bottle, something must have happened, and they don't want everyone else to lose hope. Which I agree. Like, I don't see any reason to keep secrets.
No, not in this case. No.
Yeah.
I mean, that instead it would be better if something had happened to the raft, it might be somewhere along the shore. You put a couple of gangs to just check at least the nearest shores along the beach or up north and south or whatever. At least do something just to check. Otherwise, they could just drop the bottle. We don't know anything else. However, it was rather cool that it was Claire who found the bottle.
Why? I mean,
She's the least experienced of these guys. She has never been outside of Australia. She is 21 or something like that. She's supposed to be. And she's the youngest one of the adults, sort of. Okay. And I think most of what she does is with a bit of hesitation and a doubt. So if she would be the one to decide, she suddenly thinks, let's go to Sun and talk to her. And I thought, what?
well, she probably went. Sorry if I interpret that as she saw it. She's like, oh no, that means something bad happened. Sun is the only one that has a loved one on the raft, so that's why she went to Sun first.
Well, afterwards, I really thought it was really logical, actually.
Yeah.
But when I first saw it, I thought, what? Why did you go to Kate? And I can really understand why she didn't go to Charlie.
Oh, sure.
He's more stupid than her. But yes, that's right. She was logic afterwards. And that means that she's growing up and taking responsibility, Claire. I think that's good. It's not a big scene, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you already mentioned Saeed and electromagnetic stuff.
What was all that about? They were underneath.
Yeah, they're searching. They're trying to figure out what is causing the magnetism. Now, I don't know why they're trying. It's interesting because, like, when they found the hatch, wasn't Saeed against opening it, and Jack and Locke wanted it. Now they opened it. There's something scientific. Now Saeed wants to find out what it is. He's digging through cement. I'm going to kind of spoil the next two episodes. I don't think they go back down there again, do they?
Not that I've seen, no.
So maybe they're like, that was it. He was exploring it. He didn't find his answer. He gave up. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, there is perhaps an explanation that Saeed and Jack wants to know what the threat is if they don't continue pressing the button.
True.
But
True.
I don't see how that they're going to do anything about it. They can't stop anything. And besides that generator must give them power to the bunker and...
Well, but the concern might be that it's giving off radiation or something. Because didn't they? He said it was hot or something. It
Yeah.
must be giving off radiation because the wall was hot, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's
Um,
different potential issues.
yeah.
So I don't know anything else. Did you say you had a favorite moment in this episode?
Well, it is Bernard when
Okay.
he goes up to Michael.
Gotcha.
And Michael is actually very kind and tells him the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't try to negotiate or anything. Michael is buying that these guys know what they're doing. He doesn't really bother with them. We'll get back to Michael.
Yep. Yep. So anything else on this one?
Not that I have.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about the next episode 5?
Yes, I am going to read for you.
Oh.
Now, let's see. Next one is called Lost and Found, or just and Found. Sun is devastated when she loses her wedding ring, causing the survivors to band together to search for it. While helping the Tailies gather food. Tailies, okay.
Yep.
Michael runs off in search of Walt. Jin and Mr. Echo set off to find Michael, only to encounter the others.
Yeah. This one also starts with a flashback, I think. Or
Yes, and
at
it's
least-
Jin and Sun, sort of, but it's mostly Jin.
Yeah, this one. Do you want to start with Jin's story? Should we start with that?
He is going to a place and a job interview, and he's
Painful job interview.
Yeah. Do you think so? Well, nevertheless, he's talking to his friend about that love will strike him soon, and it will be orange and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they read that in a book, and I thought, yep, that might be true.
I think that's is that called the I Ching, the book, the Destiny book?
I think so too. I'm not into the Asian stuff, but I just nodded when I saw that. Yep, that's
Yep.
going to happen because
Yeah.
the book said so. And Jin doesn't really believe in it, of course.
Well, it's interesting because his friend, first of all, his friend, was that the guy who was in the chicken suit in Hurley's dream in the last episode? His face looks like the same guy that's in the chicken suit.
Might be actually. Why use a different type of actor when you already had one?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but
Nope.
but he said that your love will be orange, and then this whole episode I just looking for everything that's orange, trying to find something orange.
Yeah, and then I forget it.
Well, and what happened? So Jin goes to the interview.
Yep.
I thought that was a very painful, awkward interview. Like
Yeah.
that boss, I wouldn't work there.
No, me neither. But if you can get a place where you might be promoted, because that's what he's after. He's after a job working many hours and then get promoted. And this guy says, well, in our hotels, we don't get promoted. And that I would say thank you, goodbye. But he gets employment standing as a doorman.
Yep, and when there's this bald guy named Mr. Lee comes in, Jin gives him his lapel flower, which is an orange flower.
Yep.
I thought, oh, so he's going to give this guy the orange flower. This guy's going to give it to Sun. Jin's going to see it on Sun. But that didn't happen. He didn't give the flower to Sun.
Not that we saw, no.
And late, I'm going to skip ahead because somehow I didn't really take any other notes about this whole Sun and this guy. And
Nope.
But near the end, whenever he's walking along, Jin is quit that job. He's walking along this water, and he sees this girl in an orange dress, and he thinks, "This is it. This is the moment."
Yeah.
And suddenly, this girl in the orange dress isn't interested,
Nope.
and boom, he runs into Sun. I thought orange finally paid off, although not quite the way I thought it was going to.
it never does in real life, you see. This is how the other side works, when the magic just is there. You can't see it, you can't be concrete about it, you can't know. But it is there and it's working its magic. I love that one. I really love that one.
Yeah.
And of course, bumping into each other, that's always a good way of getting people over for coffee.
Yeah, and then of course backing up from that, now we've seen them meet. So Sun, obviously she's having this whole issue where she lost her ring, and I knew right away where it was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was.
I haven't seen this show before, but I knew exactly where it was. First thing I said, go back to the bottle.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they didn't. And when they finally went back to the bottle, I told you so.
Yeah, and I think only Kate was helping her, right? No one else was helping her.
Claire tried, didn't she?
Did she really do anything?
Locke tried as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
So there was a couple, but well, my favorite actually was Locke and Son in her garden. I wish I had a garden to be angry at. I love that one. That was something. She tore up her garden because she was so frustrated about losing a thing.
Yeah,
But I know what the value of that thing might be, because that was all she had left.
yep, yep. Well, and I mean, you're talking about a needle in a haystack, 'cause
Absolutely.
could be absolutely anywhere.
Yeah.
The dirt, sand, obviously.
Yeah, she was doing some laundry stuff in the beginning when she noticed it. It could be out into sea.
Oh, that's
I
true.
didn't know. Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about this, I remember once when I was a kid, we used to go to this campground every summer
Yeah.
up in Michigan. And there's like a lake and a creek and a pontoon and stuff. And I remember one time, I don't know, I just remember this, but I was splashing around in the water in this lake, and I found a ring
Yeah.
in the bottom of this lake, like down in the sand, and it had like sigils all around it, almost like it was like Indian symbols.
Okay.
But the metal of the ring itself was maybe like a brass or a copper or something. Like I don't like it was clearly machine made,
Yeah.
not any kind of authentic anything.
Okay.
I don't remember what happened to that ring, but I found this weird ring in the lake one time. You just made me remember that moment.
Yeah, stuff do turn up now and then. I've been thinking about it, and with age, you suddenly find things being in a totally different place than you thought you popped it. Often in the fridge.
Yeah,
They don't have a fridge on the island. So
actually, one of the things my wife got me for Christmas is this little thing that you attach to your keychain.
Yeah.
And if you lose your keys, you can press this button on this remote and it will make a beeping sound. And I said, I'm going to not attach this to my keys, but attach it to my glasses.
Okay, that's one thing that's lost. Yeah, you could probably need a lot of them.
So, anyway, I don't think I have any. All of my other notes are about the tailies. I didn't.
Yes, and we are going to get back because they are the most fun at the moment. But there is one thing that I was sitting there thinking of the whole time. Both Jin and Sun and the ring are connected. In a psychological world, in a psychic world, they would be connected. And she became really happy again when she got her ring back. And we also had a vision of Jin at the same moment going somewhere, and he was also content. Was not tired or anything. But I really like that. I must say that they are. It's an innuendo of it, at least, that they are connected on the island as so far apart.
Ah, so like he had a moment of rest.
Yes, and then he knows that Sun is okay, and Sun suddenly knows that Jin is okay because she found a ring.
Okay. Well, I mean,
You
we.
can do that connection, but if it's true, if it's believable even, no, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think. So I definitely think that just in the random course of a day, I might suddenly think of my wife and, okay, this is. Wherever she is, I bet she's happy right this minute. Now, Whether it's coincidence, if both people are thinking it at the same time, or mysterious, I don't know. But
You
I
can't
def
prove everything.
yeah, but I definitely could. That's a good catch. I didn't really.
I got that feeling since I'm living alone. Sometimes missing it, but I do have, well, a person that I sometimes refer as my twin sister. She was my latest girlfriend, and we're still friends. And sometimes I'm thinking of her, and she's suddenly on the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
And she said, I don't know why I phoned you. Well, that's okay.
Well, and we obviously saw the connection with Rose and Bernard, both of them believing that the other one's out
Yes.
there, and
Yes.
she has
But
his
in
ring.
Rose case, it's faith. Pure faith.
Oh,
And
but
that's
she
not,
has his ring though, so
yes. And now she's got something for his sweet tooth.
yeah.
Okay, back to the tailies. Now that's a good name for them. The tail gang, led by Anna Maria. I'm going to call her Anna.
Anna Lucia, yeah.
Anna Lucia, sorry. I'm
Yep.
going to
And
call her Anna.
this, I think they finally have the best idea of this whole show. They're going to actually walk along the beach to get back to the camp.
Yeah, and they got to the rocky part, and is that the same rocky part that the other guys were going to the Black Rock
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying earlier. I think they film certain interesting looking areas of beach,
Yeah.
but it's hard to tell because you don't know how much time passed.
No. There's no way of
Yeah, to
dealing
get.
with that.
Because I don't know. I can't remember how long was Saeed gone when he found the cable. It was just 1 or 2 days, or was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's hard to.
These guys, it feels like the tailies are coming from another direction somehow.
Yeah,
Not totally sure.
I feel like they should have gotten back quicker, but at the same time,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said before, I don't know how far they're apart. You were supposed to think it's pretty far, and they're obviously very afraid of the others at this point.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. What do you think? You previously you thought that the others might be very primitive. You thought that the others might be doing experiments on kids' stem cell research.
We have different types of groups. I've told you that many
Yeah.
times before. And let's see.
So maybe these others are not the same others.
Exactly. These others cannot have a boat. Well, they might have, but I
And
doubt it. Because I think the guys who stole Walt, took Walt, kidnapped Walt, they had shoes on their feet. We saw another group that didn't have shoes on their feet. Not the ladies, not the guys. And that felt like now we are talking primitives.
and I can't remember. Does Desmond refer to the others in last episodes?
No, he has.
He never.
Well,
He only has met Calvin, right? He hasn't met.
yes, and I don't think Kelvin
Okay.
named that one, not that we know of. And
Okay.
Desmond is gone, wherever he is. Now, the favorite moment in this episode, it has to be take Jin with you because he knows how to fish.
Oh
And
yeah.
Anna just looks at him. Well, he can gain him. I fish. He tries to tell them Jin. And then he sits there with one of those spiky things and throws out bait. Even I saw that. I mean, I saw that he's throwing out bait, luring in fishes
Yeah.
to be more of them. And that stupid little thing called Anna didn't see that. And I thought, you are more stupid than I am, and I am pretty darn stupid. And then suddenly he just raised, should you help us fish or something? She said something there. And he just raises up, throws the net, pulls them in, and he had like 6 fishes.
Big ones.
Big ones! He hasn't seen that big one. And I just put down Jin Anna 1-0. I could see that scene several times again and again. And Jin, he doesn't move a muscle in his face. He just does his work and he does it good. Oh, yes.
Another
Your face, bitch.
another thing I thought was funny is why do they have these boomerangs tied to their sticks?
Yeah,
And
what would
where
that do? You saw it, the boomerang too.
yeah, where did they get the boomerangs? It must be a souvenir from being in Australia, but like
Yeah, something from the
maybe
tail
those are
plane.
supposed to be sharpened boomerangs. I thought that was weird.
The one that the Jin has is not sharpened. I can tell you that. I saw that, or was it? Yeah, it was. But no, I don't think so.
Yeah, we also come to the point, which is my least favorite of this episode, is Michael. He
Yeah,
just running randomly through the jungle, just continually shouting,
Walt, Walt,
like,
Walt.
oh, like Walt is just all of a sudden gonna hear him and be like,
I'm coming, Dad.
yeah. I was like, shut up. Oh my gosh. I guess I understand it, but like, it seems
No.
so stupid.
Yeah. Well, he is a normal guy, so he's no hero or something. But suddenly have no brains at all. That doesn't feel right. Not at all.
Yeah, and was it in this episode? Do they find him or no? Do
No,
they
it's the
catch
next.
up to him next episode? Okay, okay. There's
Six.
one note in this episode. I didn't. I don't think I really. Oh wait, yes I did. Okay. Uh, there's they come across one of I forgot who came across this, but they come across one of the tail section guys who was killed by the others. He has like a
Yes.
spike through him named Goodwin.
Yes.
So they're like actually killing people and just leaving them in the jungle. They're not like dragging them off. I thought that was interesting.
Yes. And later we are suddenly to know that the others has seen him being killed or something like it. So it might be setting an example, perhaps, or something like that. But I don't really see why. Or, well, as someone said, they are going to eat us. That might be so.
I mean that they would have to be very primitive.
Yeah,
So
I'm not totally sure. But, Lord of the Flies.
yeah. So what else? Any other?
Oh, yes, there is more. Now, the characters. We are always talking about the characters. Well, I don't like Anna.
No.
Anna Lucia is not one of my favorites, and it's going to be fun when I say when because Jack and Anna is going to meet, and that's going to be a clash of the titans.
Okay.
Uh, I think you said that she was some sort of cop or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, she's a very stupid one because she doesn't believe in thinking first and acting later, as we are going to talk about in the next episode. And she's also treating people like dirt, all of them, except for one. The only person that is twice as big as her, and that's Mr. Echo.
When she says, "I like you better when you weren't talking."
Something has changed.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I'm not totally sure what you think of Anna.
No, I pretty much the same. She's just too aggressive, but
Yeah.
maybe she's just keeping them alive. She's highly stressed. I don't.
We are getting flashbacks from her later on, I suspect. So, because I really need to know what's another cop doing on this plane. There's a lot of cops on this plane. Perhaps half the plane is full of policemen. I don't know, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember Jack met her in the bar, right? Jack did, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember if she gave away any information about
No.
why she's there.
Bernard is not a problem for us because we are already connected him with Rose, and I believe him to be a nice person. And that means how the heck has he survived so far? Because nice persons often goes first.
Yeah.
So why is he still there? That's going to be a secret to know because he might have some secret powers or something.
Well,
He's
he
actually-
obviously has to get back to Rose. Like her
You mean
faith,
that's the secret power?
her faith is protecting him. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, why not?
we haven't seen enough of or him or Libby or Cindy
No.
to really know
I
much
was
of
just
anything.
going to say those two ladies was totally. Well, I didn't. I did notice that they were there, but they looked so like, so I couldn't separate them.
Well, Libby, the light blonde one, like I think she was actually trying to, in either this episode or the next one, connect with Michael and explain why she's explaining why Anna is so violent. Like they've just been,
Yeah,
beaten down and they don't know what to do. And please don't judge us. We're really good people, but
yeah, and they
so
had survived 40+ days as well.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but then we have the last person on this uh, tail section, Mr. Echo.
yeah.
And I'm not totally sure that you are going to like this, but I saw Locke's eyes in him.
Um. Okay, I'll just make a note of that for later.
I think Mr. Echo has a connection to the island. I That was my first initial thought when he was nice enough to go off with Jin to look for Michael.
I didn't see any connection to the island yet in now or when I first watched it, but he's just a big strong. I think he's actually a nice guy, but he's playing the strong role to help keep people safe and stuff like
Yes,
that.
because if he's frightening the opposition, they won't bother them. And actually, he's big. I mean, if I met
Yeah.
him in daylight in a store, I would probably take a hike somewhere else. I doubt that I would say, "Hello, Mr. Nice Guy." I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. Now, I've seen him smile and I've seen his eyes, and I think, yes, he's a totally nice guy. And he starts to talk now. According to Anna, it was better when you didn't talk. So he has been starting to talk now. That's good because he needs someone new to talk to. And he didn't even bother to talk to Michael that we know of. But Sawyer is always left on the side. They didn't pick him up until later.
Yeah, he's when he if you think about him in season 1 at the beginning where he was like allowing himself to be beat up and captured almost to like do the con or to
Yeah,
he's always antagonizing someone to kill him. Go ahead, do it. I wouldn't save
yeah,
you. He's going to get himself into some trouble here, I have a feeling.
absolutely.
'Cause he's
And
not letting it go that they put him in a hole.
and his pride got a very good beating when a little lady stole his little gun.
Yeah.
So that's why he is so anti with these guys. But he has his wounds in his left shoulder. And it doesn't look good, I must say.
I am totally drawing a blank. I forgot, how did he get that? Oh, the boat.
Yes, he
He
was
got
shot
shot.
on
Okay,
the
okay.
from the boat. So and they haven't done anything, and he have had salt water in it, and he has been using that arm a lot, and he must have lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, pain, all that stuff.
Yes, and he hasn't eaten much, he hasn't drinking much. So I was thinking, why are you so stupid that you are? I'm not going up. You can shoot me. Yeah, but please, you have a bad arm. You cannot defend yourself. You can't do anything. I thought, are you suicidal suddenly? No, he's just having his pride. Someone stole his gun.
Yeah,
And he didn't like that. Little girls shouldn't play with his gun.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
He's very.
Overall, I feel like this episode, it was fine. I mean, it was functional, but it didn't really do that much for me.
No, but it's a transition for the next one. We
Yeah.
can jump to the next one immediately. It's called Abandoned.
All right. An intimate evening between Saeed and Shannon is interrupted by a brief sighting of Walt. Claire worries about her parenting skills and tells Locke some troubling information about Charlie. Anna Lucia and Mr. Echo lead their party on a trek to unite with the rest of the survivors just as Shannon heads into the jungle to look for Walt. Their paths cross, leading to tragedy. This one totally surprised me. I again forgot what that tragedy is until it happened. But this one is called Abandoned.
Yep.
It's basically Shannon's flashback. Her father dies, and her stepmom doesn't really want anything to do with her. Has control of the money in the family, and
She says,
yeah, bye. Sorry, go get a job, you bum.
"Yep,
And Boone tries to help her, of course, but she feels abandoned by her father and by this stepmom that never really
yep."
liked her.
That was at least the truth. She did
Yeah, I
like
mean,
her.
again, it was functional, but like all this Shannon stuff, I just didn't care at all.
Exactly. We are going to feel sorry for Shannon because no one likes her. Everybody thinks she's useless, and I just sat there. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you're stupid. Yes, we don't like you. Just go somewhere. We don't need you here. I was sitting there. We know all that. Thank you very much. We have already decided that we don't like this little lady,
Yeah.
this brat. Why are you doing this, rubbing it in again? I mean, ballet school or whatever it was in New York. Who cares?
Yeah, this is the third. So now we have. So this season, the flashbacks are no longer showing you how they got to the island and what their fresh start. Now these are just showing you some background, and it's sometimes interesting, but sometimes just background. Like, okay, let's just say it. She gets shot at the end of this episode and killed.
Yes.
So why did they bother showing all of her background just to kill her off?
But if she's dead, I'm not totally sure that she's totally dead.
Okay. Okay.
She's been dead once before and she wasn't there either, and so has Charlie and is still alive. But
But
why?
yeah,
What's the point? That's totally right.
I don't know. I mean, the only other thing in this episode she does is she sees Walt, and Saeed actually also sees him.
Yes, but
And
did he confirm that?
oh no, yeah. They both see him the second
but
time he shows up.
Did you see that? She asks Said, and then she runs away after Walt. But he never got the chance to answer. Did he or did he not see Walt?
I guess you're right. I guess I thought he was looking there. Then they cut to Walt. Then they
Yes,
look back
I
at him.
totally agree with you. I suspect that he saw Walt too, if it is Walt.
But I don't understand. I mean, so Walt is now. My interpretation is Walt is projecting himself to them to say, shh, hide, the others are nearby. He's trying to protect them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can even possibly get out of this because I don't understand why he's appearing to her.
No, I mean, if he's really into helping the people on the beach and on the island, he should be with them. He should join them, not running around alone in the jungle.
Or
so it isn't.
Or is the island making her see Walt, Shannon, and leading her on purpose to her death for some reason?
Well,
I don't know why. Like, I don't see any leverage in killing her off from the island. Like, I don't.
and I can be really mean and I'll say I haven't seen any reason to have her on the island in the first place.
Yeah. Well, though. Okay.
There is one problem, though. If you're taking away Shannon as well, then you don't have to have Boone anymore.
Well, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone, but we have to see him now and then if we're going to have more Shannon flashbacks.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing, the only repercussion is obviously Saeed's going to be upset. And now...
Are you buying that?
Well, I would think so.
I love you.
I mean, he apparently...
No, he doesn't.
He shouldn't. I don't think he should, but I think he does.
Nobody should, but in that case, but I don't think so. I think he's afraid that he's going to have a hysterical woman on his throat, and he doesn't like that. He knows what she's capable of, cheating and stuff. And it's on the island. As soon as they get off the island, he would have said that, yes, I promise that. And he would try to do whatever he can to hold to it. But he's lying through his teeth.
Oh, I don't get that
You can
at
take
all.
a note. You can take a note of that.
No, I don't.
Unless she's dead, because then he's not going to cry over her, not one single tear.
But he made her a house and a
Yeah,
picnic, and he
yeah.
obviously wants to spend time with her.
Yeah.
I anyway, I just say my
It's the
favorite
same guy
moment.
who's pushing the button without asking.
Now, I will say they didn't quite show me enough of her getting shot. They didn't actually show it. You just hear the gunshot off screen.
You saw some red in the chest of her.
Yeah, so I would have liked to see it from Ana Lucia's perspective. Why is she just randomly shooting? Some girl runs in. Overall, I didn't care for this episode. I guess I can just say that. Even though it has probably my favorite moment, get rid of her. But
Well, the favorite thing about this one is mostly that they are together again. That the tailies are meeting with the rest of the guys. At
Yeah.
least they have now to meet Said.
yeah.
And Mike and the others know Said, so it's going to be. We know that they have met, and it's not going to be like it's going to be more killing. They are so close. That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, this is where, and we basically, taking the tailies thread here. I mean, this is so we find out that 11 of them were taken, and many of them killed. So it is just these 4 or 5 left.
Yep.
And the Cindy gets disappears,
Yes, suddenly gone.
which we don't know what happened there. At one point, Libby says, "Did you see the kids?" I thought that was she asking about, like, have you seen kids that were on the plane that got taken, or was she just saying, did you see that there are kids with the others?
I think the latter one, because when Jin and Mr. Echo is out looking for Michael, and you're right, they find Michael in the 5th episode. They are hiding from the others, and we only see legs. And Libby wants to know if there were any kids in that bunch they saw.
Okay. But I got the implication that it was kids from the plane that got stolen. Like, did you see the kids? Do they have the kids with them, kind of thing?
Well, might be.
Yeah,
We don't
wasn't
know
sure.
how many of the 23 that was stuck in the tail was actually kids. We haven't heard that either.
Right.
There's a lot of questions suddenly.
Yeah, well, but I mean, we know that kids were getting trying to get
Yeah.
stolen.
And the tailies were closer to the others than the rest of the plane.
Yeah.
Or at least that's my feeling of it. It is, as you say, this island is so big and so complicated that you really don't know the distance between A, B, C, and the rest of the alphabet. It's rather hard to keep track of them. Well, when they did that triangular thing, they went pretty far, and still they were pretty close. I didn't really get that until Locke suddenly banged him in the head. Yeah, there is some stuff. Now, the tailies actually get there. And there is one thing that they do that really impressed me, because I think in that stretcher they built, because Sawyer, being the stubborn idiot he is, he's going, boink, there he went, and he lay there totally off. And they are true. They can't stay in the middle of the jungle just standing there. So they build a stretcher, and they put that one. I think they did a bit overdo on that one. They could have been doing another one.
Yeah.
But still, they did that one. And they carry him. And they really carry him. And when Cindy disappears, they are trying to get Sawyer's body up a mountain or a side of a hill anyway.
Yeah.
And it is Sawyer lying there. I hope he's insured. What if they drop him? I was thinking, what? Actors are actually working. I didn't see that was the stuntman, but there might be. But it looked like the real actors.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
I was really astonished by that. That's really the best part of that episode.
okay.
So Sawyer is lying there, totally off. And he can't help them, and he can't do anything. If they drop him, he's going to fall, well, a couple of feet at least, like 5 feet or something. I like that. And when they finally get him up that hill, Cindy's gone.
Yeah,
And that means something for them.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, we assumed she was captured, so the others must be close by.
Yeah.
And then I guess, I mean, actually, think about this. Like Anna Lucia, she could have easily shot Cindy instead
Yeah.
of Shannon.
Yeah.
That lady, yeah, she is annoying actually.
Yeah, but she's spicy enough. She will add a bit of action.
Yep, I
And
think so.
I can't really wait until I can see her and Jack starting to, who is the biggest hero in this jungle. This is not Tarzan, me, Jane. No, 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 no. You, Jane, me, Tarzan. You can see her stretching up towards Jack the Doctor. Well,
Well, and if Bernard is a dentist, then perhaps just thinking out loud, like, okay, now there's another medical professional. Do they need Jack anymore? Or maybe we'll see Jack and get killed by Anna Lucia or something.
well, she's good at killing stuff. That's true.
I don't know.
The only thing else from this episode is that Locke get to know about Charlie's stash.
Yeah, I thought that was well done. I like how it was just casually dropped in.
Absolutely.
And
There was
he-
no hint of that.
And he was genuinely surprised. He said, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah.
And then I think he confronts him, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. He does.
Yes.
He does. I don't think anything really happened about it other than the seed is there. I mean, we saw it coming. I do like that this is actually sort of been drawn out over several episodes.
Yeah, but it is also Charlie fighting against this drugs. And I think he's succeeding mainly because of Aaron.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and then he gets a bit protective and doesn't want anyone else to care for Aaron except for him and Claire. And suddenly, well, we are not married, Claire says. And there is all those very nice, subtle nuances that, yes, it is a relation between everybody across. And then Claire says, everybody seems to know about how to handle a baby except me. And I just sit there and nod. Even I could help that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was easy, but she's learning. I'm getting fond of Claire, sort of the character that is trying harder to learn more stuff. She needs to do it because she's a mother now, so she has to. I like that.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that that she was useless because she was pregnant, but up till now, like, she hasn't really done anything
No,
except
but
get kidnapped.
yeah, but she did that one right as well.
So
And well, what happened to Danielle? That's also true.
yeah, we don't know yet. We don't know.
They just left her. So, a cliffhanger this time. A dead Shannon, or is she?
We can
That
hope.
Yep.
Yeah, the next episodes are going to be 7, 8, and 9.
Yes.
7 is The Other 48 Days, which is an interesting
That sounds
title.
good. And that might imply that a flashback might be from the tailies.
Could be, could be. Then episode 8 is Collision.
That's Jack and Anna.
Oh, yeah, I
No,
didn't even think about that.
might be that.
And 9 is What Kate Did. So maybe we finally find out why she's
Yeah, good. Then we can shoot her as well.
oh,
You don't like that, right?
I don't know. Like, even though I remember last episode when we talked, me thinking she's pretty useless, but now I seem to have forgotten that and just thought she's still one of the good guys. But
Yeah, but she's taking her turns at the button. And she's taking a shower, meaning that she's standing there in a towel. And believe me, I think they have seen more of her than that. So at the moment, she's been pressed down to the bunker stuff.
yeah,
And I suppose that Locke is actually the one who is holding the main force and the main shifts down at the pressing button. But I think Kate is down there too, mostly.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm assuming. So if next episode we see the tailies, like you're thinking, then we probably will see the button stuff in 8. I bet Anna Lucia will be like, "Why are you idiots pressing the button? Wake up! This is completely useless. You have a whole that's interesting because they have a whole set of guns.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens.
dear. I have forgotten about them.
I, for one, can't wait to watch some more. It's the new year, and
So,
yeah,
well, I hope you liked our little walkthrough because these 3 episodes weren't the greatest, so to speak, and still they brought the tailies with the afties. I don't know, not really sure what you call them, the forward people. The plane is whole. No, it isn't. But I would be very, 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 very sorry if we're not to see the meeting between Rose and Bernard in the next episode. If that doesn't happen, I am going to cry.
yeah. I don't actually just like looking at the 3 titles of the next 3. You don't know
No,
when or if that will happen. I
but that
hope it
has
doesn't end in tragedy, though. I hope they actually do get a
Barry
reunion.
marrying Shannon isn't a tragedy. I hope we get to see the sweet tooth and his lady they meet again.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be so good. It's all of it. It's sound of music and all that in all one. Yes.
Good. Well, let's go watch, and
Should we?
we'll
Yeah.
talk again next week.
Absolutely. And you, listener, thanks for listening to us. Bye.